Hello there, and welcome to Aqua Plays Dragon Age Inquisition. It's taken a lot longer to get to this playthrough than I either expected to or meant to, but oh well, here we finally are getting started on this. This is following up my recent playthroughs of Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, which we'll be recapping here in just a moment here in the Dragon Age Keep. But first, just a quick note, this will be technically my fourth playthrough that I will have started of Dragon Age Inquisition, but it'll end up only being my third full playthrough, because I never actually finished the last one I started. Just ended up getting swept away into other games and whatnot before, and that was a long time ago anyway, so I'm honestly really excited to get back into Inquisition and actually finish it through this time. So yeah, this is gonna be my, like I said, my full playthrough, and I am so excited to finally get into it here so I can get through it and, you know, finish my replay of the previous Dragon Age games that I've already played, so I can finally jump into Dragon Age 4 like I've been meaning to since it first released, and I've just been way behind. But yeah, honestly, out of all the three Dragon Age games I played, Inquisition is probably my least favorite of them, maybe, but I don't know, between it and 2, like, there's, you know, each of them has kind of their pros and their cons for me, while Origins is just my favorite above all. But honestly, though, I'm gonna go into it here with an open mind, for sure, especially because it's been so long, and kind of with just, you know, kind of with an optimistic outlook. I want to kind of just enjoy what I can about it, you know, already knowing a lot of the shortcomings of it and everything, and hoping to just enjoy what I can. I will not necessarily be doing absolutely everything in this playthrough, because I remember my first playthrough of Inquisition, I ended up actually getting fed up with, like, all the little side content and everything, and just kind of wanted to continue with the main story, so I just ended up, like, skipping out a lot of the content on that playthrough. But then my second playthrough of Inquisition, I did do, like, a completionist run where I did just absolutely everything there was to do, including all, like, finding all the stupid little bottles and all that shit. So I've basically done all, you know, all the little tedious stuff in this before, but that was a long time ago, so we'll see how much I decide to do this time. I'm not committing myself to a completionist playthrough like that, but I'm also not, like, restricting myself to just whatever. But like I said, I am eager to kind of just get to Dragon Age 4 finally, so probably not gonna get too caught up in a lot of the little stuff here, but we'll see. A lot will be kind of based on, like, I guess, partly based on what I kind of feel like doing or want to do, and then partly kind of based on what I feel like my character would do and, like, what she would focus on or anything like that. So we'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. Just know I'm not going to do absolutely everything, but I'll probably do most, like, at least of the larger and more meaningful content, and some of the little side stuff depending on how I feel. But in any case, let us get started here. So I did get the keep set up with my recent for me at least, playthroughs of Origins and 2. Obviously, they don't feel so recent anymore, because it's already been way too long since I finished those. And it took me as long as it did to finish Dragon Age 2, which was ridiculous anyway. But anyways, we are going to get into this here. But yeah, I set up the keep. I did have to go back and, like, look through my recordings to kind of try to remember some of the decisions, especially, like, some of the smaller decisions I just, you know, completely forgot. And I wasn't able to find, like, everything, because obviously some of the decisions are, like, such small little actions that they have in here that, like, wasn't sure, like, what video they would be, and then it would just be hard to, like, search hardcore. And I know that, like, most decisions, like, especially the smaller ones that they have in the keep, a lot of them don't even play into Inquisition, and I know that you don't even use the keep for Dragon Age 4, so I don't think it should be too big a deal if I, like, mixed up a little bit. But if there is, like, a thing or two that is off, then, you know, that's because that. Oh, and also for Dragon Age Origins, because I did use a mod so that I could play a mage as a human noble, I obviously am not able to put that into the keep precisely. So in the keep, Viscella is not a mage. She is seen as a rogue, which I kind of headcanon, you know, I think I'd already talked about this back in Origins, that, you know, obviously her being a mage is kind of like a badly kept secret, and so technically, like, you know, publicly she's not known to be a mage. So we're kind of gonna go run with that, like, historically here, that people aren't fully aware that she's a mage. It's kind of like a badly kept secret, because obviously, you know, she went around fighting so much stuff that it'd be impossible to have it totally under wraps, but it is something of a secret, something of, like, you know, she keeps it just discreet enough to where, you know, there's some plausible deniability there. And along with that, because I was not able to make her a mage, there is one decision I was not able to do according to how it actually happened, which was with Connor, because we did end up leaving Connor possessed and making the deal with the demon for the blood magic power stuff, and unfortunately, because I can't put her in as a mage, the keep won't let me have that decision, so I just put in that Connor was alive and not possessed, which I'll just have to imagine with that, like I was kind of hoping, because I remember I was rewatching that to remind myself, like, what did I do with Connor again? I'm pretty sure I left him possessed, and I was like, oh yeah, I did. But I won't be able to actually follow through with that. Or I think it was some other decision I was watching too, but anyways, I remember I was, like, talking there about how I was thinking, like, Viscella would, like, leave him possessed, obviously, you know, because she has her own selfish motivations, but partly because she could justify it to herself, like, you know, maybe once he had more training someday, maybe he could figure out how to escape the possession. So we're just gonna kind of imagine that somehow Connor ended up, like, escaping the possession, like something maybe happened to the demon outside of him, you know, even in some way, like either he did something or somehow the demon just kind of got taken out, maybe by some other force or something, I don't know, but basically Connor will be free possession, because I think he does show up in Redcliffe in Inquisition as just like a little cameo, if I'm not mistaken, so we will have to remember that. But that was the only decision that I had to change, though. But yeah, so we'll just have to keep that in mind going in here. But anyways, without further ado, let's recap our origins in 2 playthroughs here real first, so we can jump into Dragon Age Inquisition at last. Let's hire Varric tell the story.
If you believe the stories, mankind's pride gave rise to the Darkspawn. Countless in number and toxic to all life, Darkspawn search endlessly for an archdemon. When they find one, Darkspawn armies surge up from their corrupt barrows beneath the ground, and a blight begins. Grey Wardens are the only warriors capable of destroying an archdemon, and history always honors the one who sacrifices all to kill the beast.
I wish I could make this full screen, but I didn't see any option to do that.
Ferelden. Youngest child of Ferelden's powerful Terran Cousland. Betrayal saw the Cousland's ancestral castle burn, and the Terran and his wife slain. Duncan, a Grey Warden, helped the young noble escape to a new life with the Wardens. The allied Ferelden and Grey Warden forces met in Ostagar, where King Kaelin's armies and a host of Wardens gathered, ready to destroy the Darkspawn. But valor turned to despair as Loghain betrayed his king. Kaelin's forces were slaughtered, and the South was lost. The hero, now a full-fledged Grey Warden, survived with the aid of Flemeth, the mysterious Witch of the Wilds. Joined by Flemeth's daughter, Morrigan, and a Grey Warden named Alistair, the hero set out to build an army strong enough to abolish the Blight. With the traitorous Loghain now seated on Ferelden's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village. With the hero's help, the people of Redcliffe stood fast against the undead horde. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into madness. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had made a deal with a demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The hero intervened, freeing Connor from possession, and breaking the demon's hold over Redcliffe. But deals with demons are never straightforward. The demon agreed only to save Eamon's life, not restore him to health. Arl Eamon needed a miracle to recover. The hero located an urn containing the sacred ashes of Andraste, which were said to cure any ailment. The urn was protected by ancient traps, tests of will, and a dragon-worshipping cult that wanted to twist the urn's power to its own ends. The urn remained pure, but mysteriously disappeared after the wardens departed. Only the temple dedicated to it still stands. With a pinch of the ashes, the hero restored the Arl to health. Informed of Logain's treachery, Eamon swore his political and military support. The circles of Magi are bound by oath to aid the Grey Wardens in times of blight. However, Lake Calenhad's tower could offer little help. One of its mages, Uldred, had become possessed by a pride demon and was twisting other circle mages into abominations. The hero fought to the top of the tower and defeated Uldred, saving the remaining mages. Grateful for their lives, the mages joined the Warden's army. The allies gained at the Circle were not the only soldiers to join the Warden's forces, however. Dalish elves don't usually make alliances, but even deep hatred can be set aside in the face of oblivion. An ancient curse was destroying Ferelden's largest Dalish clans, turning the elves into werewolves. Zathrian, the clan's keeper, claimed that the cure required the heart of the great wolf, Witherfang. Years before, Zathrian himself had afflicted a group of humans with the curse that now ravaged his clan. As long as he lived, the curse endured. The hero freed the werewolves from the long-standing curse, and the Dalish joined the Warden's forces. Blights may happen hundreds of years apart, but the dwarves who live below the surface of Thedas fight Darkspawn every day. No one is better schooled in battling Darkspawn than the warriors of Orzammar, except perhaps their allies of old, the Grey Wardens. The hero arrived in Orzammar in the wake of King Endrin's death to find political factions fighting for control of the dwarven capital. Only the vote of a venerated paragon could break the deadlock to elect a ruler, and order the dwarves to honor their Grey Warden treaty and join the battle against the new blight. The hero set off to find a paragon named Branka, who had disappeared into the deep roads in search of a legendary artifact, the Anvil of the Void, created by the renowned smith Caradon to forge mighty war golems. With Branka's help, the hero restored the Anvil of the Void, and a small army of powerful golems joined the Warden's forces. The hero emerged from the deep roads with a master-forged crown to bestow the Paragon's favor upon whichever rival candidate would be crowned king. Balin, the youngest son of King Endrin who was suspected of foul play, or Haramont, the aging traditionalist backed by the Dwarven Assembly. Balin followed his father to the throne. He leads with a ruthless but progressive hand, seeking to re-establish ties to the surface kingdoms. With Dwarden's strength now bolstering the Warden's army, the hero had to deal with Logain, so Ferelden could stand unified against the Darkspawn before the Blight swallowed the world. The kingdom of Ferelden stood divided. While some nobles supported Logain's regency, others condemned his inaction against the Darkspawn. Civil war brewed, and Arl Eamon called a landsmeet in hopes of curtailing the conflict and removing Logain from the throne. Alistair ended Logain's life in the name of justice for the Wardens who died at Ostagar. As the Warden's united army massed in Redcliffe, the Darkspawn overran Denerim, laying siege to Ferelden's capital city. The hero's army fought valiantly through Denerim and broke the Darkspawn siege. On Fort Dracon's highest tower, the hero's strongest allies fought alongside the Warden in a final heroic battle against the massive Archdemon. The Archdemon was killed without the sacrifice of a Grey Warden's life. With no Archdemon to lead them, the Darkspawn scattered. Most fled underground, still teeming in number and always seeking a new Archdemon to awaken. The shattered kingdom of Ferelden embarked on a long journey to recovery. In the Blight's aftermath, strong leadership was crucial. Alistair, King Kaelin's half-brother, became Ferelden's new king, joined in rule by the hero, daughter of one of the nation's most powerful leaders. Ferelden still stands, as obstinate and resolute as the Dog Lords ever are, but the events of the Fifth Blight loom over it as the nation rebuilds. For people across Thedas, legends of the hero of Ferelden remain the nation's brightest beacons of hope during its darkest times. It all began in Kirkwall, the fall of Knight Commander Meredith, the Qunari uprising, and of course, the Chantry's destruction and the onset of Mage Rebellion. One person always stood amidst the swirling chaos: Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Irix, the champion of
The
chaos.
Hawk family fled Lothering, refugees from the Blight. Leandra, mother of the champion, and siblings Bethany and Carver hoped to find refuge at her family's estate in Kirkwall, far to the north. As a mage with a family legacy of magic on both sides, Hawk naturally became involved in the events that ultimately led to the Mage Rebellion. The Hawks escaped the Blight with the help of Aveline Valen, a warrior and family friend. It's said that the family was also aided by Flemeth, the notorious witch of the wilds. Hawk's sister Bethany never reached the Free Marches. She was killed by Darkspawn while defending her family. The family's first years in Kirkwall were difficult. Leandra's brother Gamlin had lost the family fortune. The Hawks lived in poverty, forced to indenture themselves in return for entrance to the city. To pay off the debt, Hawk was forced to work for a gang of smugglers. All the while, Hawk and Carver did their best to hide Hawk's magic from the Templars. Opportunity eventually struck in the form of a dwarf named Bartrand Tethras, who was planning an expedition to the Deep Roads. It was a long shot, but with gold gained from the expedition, Hawk could free the family from its criminal creditors and further Templar scrutiny. Hawk met a rogue Grey Warden named Anders, who possessed detailed maps of the Deep Roads. These maps were crucial to the expedition's success. Once Hawk obtained them, everything else fell quickly into place. Carver joined Hawk on the expedition. The siblings found ancient dwarven treasure and a statuette formed from a strange red lyrium. Carver fell victim to the blight that suffuses the Deep Roads, but Anders led him to a group of Grey Wardens who were able to save his life. The gold Hawk recovered from the Deep Roads brought back Leandra's stately childhood home in Hightown. The Hawks had barely settled into their new home when Leandra was murdered, a deeply sinister and twisted killing. Hawk hunted down Quentin, the blood mage responsible, but could not prevent Leandra's death. Leandra's tragic death was part of a critical problem facing Kirkwall: rising tension between the city's mages, who felt increasingly oppressed, and Templars, who grew increasingly suspicious of their activities. Adding to the strain, a large contingent of Qunari had also established themselves in Kirkwall, much to the growing discomfort of the city's rulers. After their dreadnought was shipwrecked many years before, a group of stranded Qunari were allowed to remain in a cordoned-off area in Lowtown. As time passed, the Qunari made no effort to return home, and offered no explanation about why they remained. Tensions rose to a breaking point. Revered Mother Patrice, convinced the Qunari were a threat to the Chantry's faith, incited violence between the Qunari and the Kirkwall populace. Hawk knew that Patrice would bring about unnecessary conflict. Though the champion tried to stop her, Patrice orchestrated the murder of Seamus Dumar, a Viscount's son and a recent convert to the Qun. When her crime was discovered, a Qunari assassin killed her. After Seamus was murdered, the Arishok of the Qunari group lost patience with the humans of Kirkwall. They would now submit to the Qun or die. The Qunari struck hard and fast. They took the palace in Hightown and beheaded the Viscount to immediately quash any resistance. Aided by Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino, Hawk reached the palace and stood toe-to-toe with the fearsome Qunari leader. Hawk fought the Qunari leader. The fierce battle resulted in the Arishok's death and the liberation of Kirkwall from its brief occupation. The Qunari quickly withdrew from the city entirely. Hawk saved Kirkwall and earned the grudging respect of the city's Templars, mages, and nobility, along with the title that history remembers, the Champion of Kirkwall. Kirkwall's problems were still not over, however. After Viscount Dumar's death, Knight Commander Meredith took power and blocked all attempts to appoint a new Viscount. Under Meredith's command, the Templars tightened their grip on the mages, planning to suppress what Meredith saw as a growing rebellion. Anders, who spent years fighting for justice and freedom for his fellow mages, saw that the time for negotiation was past. He destroyed Kirkwall's chantry, killing hundreds, including Grand Cleric Elthina. This single act began a rebellion that spread from circle to circle, until all circles of Magi had risen up in defiance against chantry rule. Though Anders had done the unforgivable, something stayed the champion's hand. Anders survived the day, although many others did not. Fighting spread swiftly through the city. Some mages rebelled openly, many of them succumbing to possession. Templars turned their swords on mages who rebelled and on those who did not. As First Enchanter Orsino refused to bend to the Templars, Knight Commander Meredith demanded that every mage in Kirkwall be put to the sword. Hawk saved many mages from Templar blades, keeping them from succumbing to possession or the temptations of blood magic. In the end, however, Hawk was forced to strike down Orsino, who had betrayed his own values by resorting to blood magic himself. The battle proved one thing: Knight Commander Meredith had gone mad. Hawk saw the truth of it when Meredith unsheathed her sword, and the red lyrium idol from the deep roads was embedded within it. The blade fueled her hatred and paranoia, as it had for months. After a horrific battle, the red lyrium of the Knight Commander's sword consumed her as she died. Meredith became a statue, her face a frozen mask of horror. Little is known of the champion since that final battle. However, Hawk's story lives on in legend and song. Memories of the indelible changes the champion of Kirkwall brought to the face of Thedas. The Mage Rebellion in Kirkwall was felt throughout Thedas, the news spreading like wildfire. The Templars clamped down in response, but each new restriction only made things worse. Led by Grand Enchanter Fiona, the mages voted for independence. The Circle of Magi would govern itself, without the Chantry and especially without the Templars. The result was cataclysmic. 2 circles were destroyed. Those within killed to the last mage, before the rest fled into the wilderness. Perhaps the mighty Empire of Orlais could have intervened in the war before it began, but that was not to be. Grand Duke Espard began a deadly civil war against Empress Celine, vying for the Orlesian throne. The mages were offered safe haven in neighboring Ferelden, but the Templars followed, and so their battle spread across all of Thedas. As head of the Chantry, Divine Justinia ordered the Templars to stand down. They refused, declaring their own independence. Thus, the war began in earnest. Templars hunting mages, mages fighting Templars. Their clashes wreaked untold destruction, and all sense of order was falling to pieces. Divine Justinia made one final desperate bid to end the war. She approached the leaders of both sides and convinced them to come to a conclave held on neutral ground. With the Chantry to mediate, mages and Templars will talk for the first time since this all began. It is our last, and perhaps our only, chance for peace.
All right, and there you have it. So that's where we stand right now, going into Inquisition. Yes, honestly, it makes me really sad that they don't use the keep at all for Dragon Age 4. It just seems so weird that they would make this whole keep, you know, and it's so cool and everything with all the decisions and being able to make your different world states, and then they just abandoned it for the latest game. But anyways, for now, I'll see you in just a minute once I get the actual game booted up. Yeah, see you in a minute. Hello again. So it's actually been a couple weeks since I recorded going through the keep and everything, because I actually did create my character and I went through the initial tutorial and everything, but I've decided I want to start over, and I've just been kind of delaying getting into doing that here, but because the character creator in Inquisition, the lighting in there really does suck, and honestly, I looked to see if there were any mods that I could add to, like, fix that, but I didn't see anything, at least on, like, Nexus mods, so... Which is weird, because I feel like that's a problem I've seen a lot of other people, like, complain about before, so I'm surprised there's nothing to help with that, but yeah, the lighting is terrible, and so I created my character, and she looked fine and everything in the creator, I was happy with her, and then it turned out I, like, had the makeup way too intense on her face, so in the actual game she just looked like a clown. And, oh gosh, I swear I fixed the audio last time, but it is seeming a little louder than I would like it to be, maybe. I don't know, is that better? I don't know. I'll try that. I don't know. I think maybe just this main page is a little loud. Let me hit new game and see if that works out better. But yeah, basically I created... Okay, yeah, this is a little less intense audio here. But yeah, I basically created my character, and yeah, she looked like a clown, which the thing is, I knew I could remember that being an issue the last time I made a female character in Inquisition, and so yeah, I probably should have known better, but yeah, I made her, and then I just, yeah, and I thought maybe I could, you know, get through it until I got to the point where I can change her, but it was really bugging me all the way through, getting to Haven, and, looking it up, as far as I can tell, I'm pretty sure I can't actually change a character's appearance until I get to Skyhold, which, you know, it doesn't take too long to get there, but I really just don't want to feel rushed in getting there and don't want to have to, like, deal with all of there. So, you know, I've decided I'm just going to start over. And I'm going to remake a character, and it's just taken a little longer getting back to it than I meant to. But here we are, finally again. And so for you, it won't be like much time, you know, won't really be anything much different, but for me, it's going to be interesting here remaking. I was happy with how she looks, so hopefully I can kind of recreate her for the most part, except, you know, like I said, the makeup. So we're gonna go very light on the makeup, and hopefully that will help fix the issue. And if there's any problems, hopefully at least she can look good enough that I can feel comfortable playing her until we get to a point where I can change things. So, anyways, now I have to kind of remember what it is I haven't talked about yet, that I had already gone through last time, and now we'll have to go through again. But yeah, so we're going to be playing an elf, a female elf for that matter. Let me switch that, because and the reason specifically a female elf is because I want to romance Solus. That's kind of one of the main things I know I want to do in this playthrough, because I haven't done it before, and apparently it's, you know, I imagine it's a very interesting romance, because Solus is very important to the story, and he's going to be a big part of Dragon Age 4, which I'm excited to, you know, actually finally get to at some point. So yeah, we are going to be playing a female elf, and we will get a bonus to range defense, which don't know if that'll really be that important, but okay, let's jump into this. And I forget what all I had mentioned before about the playthroughs, but this is going to be my, like, third full playthrough, fourth playthrough I've just started of the game. First time playing a non-human all the way through. I did start a Qunari playthrough that I didn't finish, but yeah. But yeah, it's first time romancing Solus, and it's gonna be my first time playing a dual-wielding rogue in this, actually. It's just the first one to come up here, so that's interesting. Yeah, because I played an archer Inquisition before, that was kind of alright. I started with the Qunari on I think it was a sword and shield warrior, actually, not the two-handed, but yeah, I did start that and never finished it. That seemed kind of interesting, too. I did play a mage my first playthrough. But yeah, one of the reasons I don't want to go for mage again now, obviously I did mages my last 2 playthroughs of Dragon Age Origins and 2, and obviously mage is my favorite class and I do enjoy playing it, but I kind of do want a little bit of a variety, I think, in the world state and not have every single one of them be a mage, and especially since I've played a mage in this before and everything. Yeah, I kind of want to go for something different. I also know Souls' romance apparently is maybe slightly different depending on if you're a mage or not, and I don't know which one would be more interesting, but I don't know. I've just decided I'm gonna play a dual-wielding rogue, which seems like it'll be a lot of fun in Inquisition. I've only ever played dual-wielding rogue in Origins, which wasn't really that exciting because the gameplay there is a lot slower. But from what I've seen in Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, you know, whenever I've like taken control of my companions and whatnot, obviously it does seem a lot more interesting in these games where the combat is a little faster paced. Even though, you know, obviously Origins is my favorite for combat overall, it does seem like playing a dual-wielding rogue might be more exciting in these games. But yeah, so we are going to go with a dual-wielding rogue. And we are going to go for hard. We're not going to go all the way to nightmare because I don't want it to be too annoying because, I don't know, Inquisition definitely is my least favorite combat of the 3 games. But I am going to go in and give it a shot, kind of try and keep it in mind, especially since it's been so long. Maybe I can get some fun out of it here. I do really miss, like, kind of having the tactic system and just kind of more of a strategic gameplay, but we'll give it a shot. But I knew it from the past, like, I do think I kind of want to bump up the difficulty, and we are going to, actually, no, wait. What we want is custom, that's right. Okay, almost messed up there. We want to go custom because we want to turn some of those trials on, that they added later, after the game initially came out. Because I do know, like, I'm pretty sure, like, my second playthrough, which I can't remember if I mentioned this before, when we were going through the keep, but my second playthrough was like a completionist playthrough, where I did like everything. Like my first playthrough, I just kind of got to a point where I was just tired of all the little tedious side content and stuff, and I was just kind of wanted to continue with the main story, so I didn't do a whole lot of that playthrough. And then my second one, I decided, you know, I'm gonna go completionist. I made a character that kind of made sense for him to just want to do everything and kind of avoid the main story for as long as possible, and I did all the tedious crap, even like finding all the bottles and stuff. So for this playthrough, we probably won't be doing that extent, because I've already, you know, gone through all that in the past. And a lot of it just isn't really super worth doing, but we will be doing a decent amount of stuff, just whatever, you know, whatever I feel like makes sense for my character and that I kind of want to do, but I'm not going to, like, force myself to do everything, but we'll see, you know, we'll see what I get into. But yeah, but I do know from that playthrough that, like, playing, because I know from my first playthrough, like, the combat, you know, part of the problem with it, it's not even just that I just don't like the combat as much, but it's just kind of boring. Like, it's just a little too easy a lot of times, so I do think, like, pumping up the difficulty does kind of help with it a little bit. The trials do kind of are a little wonky sometimes in how they increase the difficulty, and sometimes stuff ends up being just, like, kind of, like high HP, just kind of tedious, annoying combat at times, but I don't know, at least, like, bumping up the difficulty a bit does kind of make the combat a little more interesting. And then I know in the DLCs, I think they did a better job of making the combat a little more interesting and challenging. At least in Jaws of Hakon in particular, I remember the combat being a little better there. But, yeah, but just bumping up the difficulty to hard. We're not gonna go Nightmare, because I think that'll just make it kind of too tedious, but hard, I think, will make things a little bit, at least help keep things a little more engaging. Hopefully. But yeah, we do not, we're not gonna go Friendly Fire, because the game just isn't really built for that. Just like with Dragon Age 2, how I'm not really super into doing that. Maybe eventually I'll mess around with it, but since the game isn't really built to do that, it just doesn't seem... It seems like it'd make me more annoying than anything, to be honest, but yeah. But let's see. But I do want to go even ground, so enemies will always scale to the same level as the Inquisitor, and we'll get special rewards for it, which is kind of nice. But mainly we just want this enemies to scale to keep things interesting and keep us on our toes a bit, so the combat isn't just absolute tedium. And then, yeah, new traits and abilities, kind of, once again, keep things interesting. Lose all focus if you rest or travel to a camp. I think I decided I was going to go with that one last time. Once again, you know, we're going to get the special rewards, so I'm kind of into that. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that kind of makes sense. We're losing all focus if we rest or travel to camp. We kind of want to avoid, you know, just kind of makes us have to, like, manage ourselves better in between camps, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember if we can turn these on or off later in the game. I think maybe we can, so if something ends up being really annoying, I can just turn it off. Hopefully. I do not want all healing potions heal only 1 health. That sounds... You do get some more rewards for that, but that sounds kind of really awful, because the healing is not always the greatest in this game, I think, with the mages and stuff, so yeah, I don't know that I want to go for that extreme. Yeah, not at the moment, at the very least. And I'm not gonna remove supply caches. I don't think I want to gain XP at... Do I want to gain XP at half the normal rate? I don't think so. I don't know. Should I do that? I don't know. Do I want to do... I feel like I could see that being good in the sense of not, like, getting through all of the levels too quickly while doing the side content and stuff, but at the same time, I might make it really boring if it takes forever to level up, so I think I'm gonna leave that off, but if I feel like we're leveling up too quickly, maybe I can always throw that on if we can do so later. I'm sorry if I sound a bit congested right now, my allergies are going wild today. So apologies in advance if I have to go... So I take a pause to blow my nose a bunch of times. Let's see, though. Fairweather Friends. Nah, like once again, some of this stuff just, I feel like, kind of has its potential to really throw off the balance of the game in ways I'm not really wanting to do, especially because it's my first time playing it in so long, so I kind of want to experience it to some extent naturally, you know? But yeah. Oh, and I don't know if I talked before, I do have some mods on, but it's mostly all just, like, quality of life stuff and a few small cosmetic things. No really huge gameplay changing mods for the most part. Outside of, like, the one quest, Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, that one is the one in particular I have mods to really kind of change the way that quest goes a bit more, making it a lot easier to get the halas and go through the doors and stuff, because I feel like that quest is just kind of has shitty design, to be honest, just at its core, so that's like one thing I am kind of fine with just changing. But for the most part, I do want to have like a, you know, for the most part, a fairly vanilla experience, just with a few additional tweaks. But yeah, there will be a full list of the mods in the description below. I actually forgot. I was gonna take a look at what all I had, because I kind of forgot what I've put into this, before this, I started again with the new playthrough, but oh well. But yeah, I'll end up putting a list in the description if anyone wants to take a look at that, if anyone cares, but yeah, but nothing, like I said, nothing major. And though I still think we might have to, I don't know if I have to take him out between Skyhold or whatever, I'll have to look at how that works once we get to that point. But anyways, I guess we'll put on the Mega Bears, and then if they end up being too much of a problem, we can hopefully maybe turn them off. But okay, we will go with that. Just a few trials on, not a crazy amount, just enough to hopefully make things a bit more engaging. Alright, let us move forward. Alright, so we are going to be a Dalish hunter. Enslaved long ago by humans, most elves still live as second-class citizens within human cities. Elves who reject this life are known as the Dalish, nomadic wanderers who strive to keep the ancient elven religion and traditions alive. You were raised in the wilderness to be a hunter, relied upon by the Lavellan clan for food and protection. The clan wandered the northern free marches and had little need to interact with humans until the clan's keeper sent you to the Chanter's conclave, as a spy. What happened there, she said, would impact not only the Dalish but indeed all elves. She could not have known how right she was. Indeed, and let us continue. Yes, I would like to import it. Yes. That is the world state. And we should be able to start. Alright, so, like I mentioned, we're going to be playing a female elf, dual-wielding rogue. And my thought for her character, she's going to be, in some ways, kind of a more typical Dalish elf, and in other ways, not really. So, you know, she was obviously raised as a Dalish hunter for her clan, so she is generally gonna, have a sense of, like, the importance of the group over the individual. So, like, you know, putting the clan, needs of the clan above her own personal needs, and that's something that can kind of extend beyond simply her clan to just kind of in general. Like, in particular, once she gets to be the actual Inquisitor, obviously, to probably be, like, the needs of the Inquisition and, like, the people, and whatnot over her own personal needs. So she will kind of have, you know, she'll kind of work well as a hero, I guess, in that sense. You know, be a more traditional hero, somewhat selfless hero, and that'll kind of work out for her. But while she is, you know, a Dalish elf and has spent most of her life, you know, just kind of within the clan and everything, she is going to be someone, a elf who I think is a little more open-minded than Dalish elves usually are. Like, while she does recognize the value of the group, and, you know, she is deeply embedded in her culture and the religion and everything, though I don't think she's going to be super, super devout in her religion, because she is kind of, like, uncertain and very open-minded about, like, things being different than what she believes. Because a big part of her, I think, is that she's kind of going to be like an engineer of sorts, very much about, like, solving problems, creating things, just very much someone who wants to learn and question things. The unofficial title I'm thinking of for her is, like, the Inquisitive Inquisitor. Like, she's gonna ask all kinds of questions, she wants to know about things, she wants to explore the world. So in that sense, she's kind of a little more atypical of a Dalish elf, because Dalish elves, you know, usually tend to be more, a bit more isolationist, I guess you could say. Like, they generally want to keep to themselves. They don't want to, you know, interact as much with other peoples a lot of the times, you know, because they've been burned so much by those, you know, interactions, that they kind of tend to keep them to themselves, tend to be somewhat prejudiced against other groups, namely humans, and they tend to be kind of, like, wary of foreigners. In her case, she's going to be very different. She very much is open to wanting to go out there and explore the world, learn new things, and she kind of recognizes, you know, while she values the group over the individual, in that sense, she also recognizes that an individual's actions don't necessarily speak to the whole group. So she kind of is very less prejudiced, maybe, than her common. But partly because I think she spent a lot of time growing up, like, reading books and kind of, you know, engaging with any outsiders that did happen to come along, you know, even maybe against the orders of her elders, and kind of just is very open to those things. And that's a big part of why, you know, I'm thinking she had volunteered to go out there to the conclave, because she's like, here's my opportunity, you know, to go out there and explore, because she really has wanted for a long time to leave her clan and go out and learn more and explore. But obviously, because she does recognize the needs of the clan and values that, it's like, you know, her own individual desire for exploration, you know, she kind of has had put that aside to be what she needs to be for the clan, you know, to hunt for them and provide for them and everything. But this provided an opportunity for her to do something that's for her clan, that also kind of supports her individual desire and curiosity, basically. So that's kind of basic premise of her character. So she is going to be very much, like, you know, wanting to go out there and learn and explore and see new things, and, like I said, very much about solving problems. But there's going to be very much an inherent selflessness. So she's going to be a bit more of a typical hero in a lot of ways, but at the same time, that kind of focus on, like, the greater good above other things could lead her to kind of make some less heroic decisions, you know, at times, or less, you know, typically heroic decisions, right? Depending on what makes sense. Like, she might be willing to sacrifice the lives of the few, you know, for the greater good of the many, and, you know, obviously, sometimes that can be a little bit of a murky thing, morally. But anyways, that's the main gist of her character. And like I said, she is, you know, initially, you know, obviously she holds some basic belief in the, you know, her people's culture and their religion, but she isn't super devout. So I think as, like, that whole situation kind of gets unraveled as she gets in Takeover with Solus and everything, that will kind of, it won't be like a super big shock to her system, but it will be something of a shock to her system for sure. But she's kind of open-minded enough that it's not like, she's not going to be, like, super in denial about it all. But anyways, that's the basic premise. And which head did I start with? Oop. No, I want to customize. Okay, hold on. I need to choose an initial head. I'm trying to remember which one I used. Did I use head 1 or did I use head 3? I think I used head 3. before when I made her. Because like I said, I kind of liked the way I did her. I just want to kind of mess around with her a bit more here. So let's see. Alright, you know what? I will be back in a few moments. Let me go through and kind of tweak everything here, and try to make her kind of how I did before, and then we'll come back when I have her pretty much settled. So, see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back. So here she is. I think I'm pretty satisfied with her. I don't know that she's quite exactly how I made her last time, but it's really kind of hard to remember because it's been a bit, and obviously kind of hard to get the exact result again, but I think she looks pretty good. She looks for the most part, how I want her, so, yeah, say hello to Mintriel. That is the name I had decided on. Alright, and let's get into things. And hopefully, since I toned down the makeup significantly this time, didn't even put any lipstick on, hopefully she will not look absolutely ridiculous once we get out of this lighting and into the normal game lighting. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Alright, time to be a prisoner again. Oh yeah, she already looks much better. Much better already. Oh yeah, much better than what I had before. Okay, I'm glad I went back and changed her, because, ugh. I can actually stand to look at her now.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead, except for you.
Right, that's horrible.
What do you mean everyone's dead?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need her, Cassandra.
Alright, so in this situation, with Mintriel, I mean, like I said, she is like a problem solver type, you know, she always comes, so I could see her kind of being like, I'm confused here, like trying to focus on like what's going on, but she also, you know, does just care about other people. And like I said, she does have a very heroic, good heart, for the most part, so she would kind of care about that as well. But I think in this case, like, especially, like, in the shock of it all, I think she mostly would be focused on what happened, like, what in the world is going on. I think that's something, so I'm confused.
I don't understand.
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then a woman?
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then...
Go to the forward camp, Liliana. I will take her to the rift.
What did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Oh yeah, much better. Oh, I feel like I turned all the lip shine off and her lips still look kind of shiny, so I don't know what that's about, but oh well.
We call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the breach may grow until it swallows the world.
Yeah, I feel like her lips are a little stiff however I did it, but
Each
other than
time
that,
the
I'm pretty
breach
happy with her.
expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
Let's see here. How could it stop this?
You say it may be the key. To doing what?
Closing the breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
I don't know if she'd really be focused on guilt at this point. I mean, yeah, I don't think she really wants to point mostly to the fact that she's guilty. I don't know, did I go with... Okay, sorry, I'm like, just looking at her face. I'm like, did I go with a different Vlaz on this time? I thought this was what I chose last time, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm reasonably happy with her. At least to get to Skyhold, where we can change anything else if I feel the need to do so. But yeah, I don't know, would Mintriel... I think it's pretty obvious in the situation that she does guilt. I don't know that she would feel the need to ask that and draw attention to that potential guilt. And honestly, like, she herself, I don't think she really is too focused on, like, the guilt. Because like I said, she's very much about the greater good, you know, the good of the group. And also, like, for her own personal guilt in this situation isn't really what she's focused on. It's more about, like, how can we stop it? How can we, you know, things. She's not really worried as much about her own fate right now. So, yeah, if I can help, I will.
I understand.
Then...
I'll do what I can. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's interesting playing a more traditional hero after my last two characters, honestly. But kind of a little refreshing,
they have
too.
decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed.
Then let's get to sealing that breach.
There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the breach.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring harm.
Open the gate! We are heading into the valley.
Yeah, that's right. V to ping. Okay, Yep, there we go. Alright, so let's get going. Quest mat. I just did. Okay, yes, there you go.
Maker! It's the end of the world!
that's right. To jump, it's shift, right? Oop, never mind. No jumping right now. I'm gonna fall to the floor instead.
The pulses are coming faster now. The larger the breach grows, the more rifts appear, the more demons we face.
How did I survive the blast?
Oh wait, no, that's...
They said you
Oh, is it controlled jump? Yeah, there we
stepped out
go.
of a rift, then fell unconscious.
No, I might change
They
that
say
like
a
I did
woman
last
was in the
time.
rift behind you. No one knows who she was. Everything farther in the valley was...
Oh, I cut off the dialogue, my bad. Going a little too far ahead, I guess.
Stay behind me!
Alright, time to grab some conveniently placed daggers and get to work. Alright, so usually in Inquisition, I usually, in order to kind of better imitate the previous game's combat, I've usually taken to like rolling out into the tactical cam, like just automatically every time I jump into combat, and just kind of doing combat that way. Namely because in the when the tactical cam is up, you auto attack without having to input, which is like the main thing that like kind of bugged me. But I will say after the little bit I played when I started last time, I kind of found that it seemed like playing with the tactical cam was going to be kind of it wasn't really going to work very well with the dual wielding, so I feel like I may actually give the regular gameplay style a bit more of a try this time and not just automatically go into tactical every time. Like, well, still obviously you have to use tactical cam at times to command the group, especially because we're on like hard difficulty and have to be a little bit more thoughtful about some things, but I think in general I am going to try and, you know, because it seems like just being in the regular gameplay mode and like having more direct control of my character and like positioning and stuff is going to be a big thing with the dual wielding, so it might actually be fun to play in more regular mode and not deal with the finicky tactical cam all the time. But I do think I want to reconfigure some of the keys, but I don't know that I can do any of that just yet. Can I? Hopefully. Key bindings, yes. Because I'm thinking, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I'm thinking during combat, I might go ahead and use, because we're going to be using a lot of abilities in this, and I'm not going to, but I don't need to be like aiming anything like a gun or something during combat. I'm thinking I might set this up kind of like I did when I played the Star Wars of the Old Republic MMO, where I ended up assigning a lot of the abilities to the numpad, and then I just used that to like kind of do my rotation of abilities in gameplay, and I think that might work kind of well for this, especially because we have like 8 abilities, so I can kind of set them up across the keys, and that might make that a little bit nicer than trying to reach them in the regular number keys and whatnot. Like, I think that might work better for me with having so many abilities to deal with and everything. Because I know just doing the regular number keys, like, it's kind of awkward, at least for me. Especially, like, when it gets to the higher numbers, like, it's kind of awkward to activate those, you know, with, like, one hand on WASD and one on, like, the mouse or something, so I think I am going to do that. So I'm thinking an auto attack, which they have... Wait, what is this? Auto attack... SP... I don't know, because there's... Hold on, because R is auto attack, right? Why is R not on here? It's auto attack, or is it on here? Why? Where isn't? Yeah, R is supposed to be auto attack. Why is it not on here? There it is. Basic. Oh, what's basic attack versus auto attack? What is the difference? Is there? Yeah. Does that mean? Is there a way to turn on auto attacking? And like without being a tactical? Maybe. Let me see. Anyways, so for now, we'll just do R. And then... So we hold this or this to continuously attack. Okay. Now what happens if I go here and I put this to like 0 on the numpad? Well, how does that work? Oh, you know what? Actually, that might not work. Because I might need to adjust the camera with the mouse
your weapon.
more.
Now!
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I might actually need to keep a hand on the mouse for the camera, actually. So I don't know if that's gonna work to use the numpad. But we'll see. Anyways, I'll be open now. What would she do in this situation? She's not, you know, so much concerned with protecting herself, but she does want to defend the group and do what she needs to do, so... I don't think she's gonna be like, just, alright, I'll disarm. But you need to trust me.
If you're going to lead me through a demon-infested valley, you'll have to trust me.
Give me one reason to trust you.
Because my life is on the line.
You're right.
And both of our lives are on the line, technically.
And I cannot expect you to be defenseless. I should remember you agreed to come willingly.
Yep, I did. I sure did.
Take these potions. Maker knows what we will face.
Where
Okay.
are all your soldiers?
At the forward camp or fighting. We are on our own for now.
Yeah, I think about it. Well, I guess while I'm moving around in combat, I don't really need to adjust the camera necessarily, right? I think it's just like out of habit I kind of do it. But it might be fine. Like, what if I... Okay, I'll have to test it out next time I get into combat here. Let's just move forward for now. Oh, I'm making sure I remember the ping. I do have a mod, I believe, that increases the ping radius too, so hopefully that's working out well. Hopefully so, and I might as well throw that hat on, I guess. What are you picking up? Sounds like it's picking something up. Maybe not. Maybe that's just the sound it makes in general. Oh, there it is. Picking up this stuff. Oh. Yep. Okay. Yep, gathering herbs and stuff. Gotcha.
There! Watch out! If we flank them, we may gain the advantage.
Okay, so now I can give this a try. Let's see if I don't know if basic attack or if I need... Yeah, I'm not sure the difference between those. We'll have to see. But for the rest of it, I'm thinking... Ability slot 1. What if we go num 1? 2... And we'll go with that for now and see how that feels. So I jump down into combat. Oh, yeah, so I don't have to hit the key every single time. Oh. Yeah, I didn't realize there's a... I don't know how I never realized you don't even have to go into tactical cam to have the auto attack automatically go. You just have a button that you can use and then it sets you into auto attacking. Well, that's nice, actually. I mean, I might... I don't know, do I want to go for putting like a basic attack on the button, or do I just want to do this? Let's see, sneak behind and... Oh, there we go. positioning is going to be important for us, but we're not really going to be able to stay behind the enemy well until we get some stuff to lessen our threat level, I think. But honestly, I might want to do... I might want to just do it like single attack, actually. So that way I have better control of like when I set my abilities off rather than having to wait for the... Because I feel like it's kind of awkward sometimes when going through the animations of the auto attack. Like I don't trigger the ability as soon as I would like to at times. So maybe it would be better to go ahead and do this. And we'll see how that feels. I don't think we can... Can we save? Yes, okay. I wasn't sure if we could save before we got to Haven, but we can actually save, apparently. Okay, so that's nice to know. Alright, to loot. We'll want all this stuff for later, for sure, when we get into all the crafting nonsense. Alright, let me try this. And then I'll go up and do that.
Up on the hill. It attacks from a distance.
Yeah. We'll get this one first. There we go. Alright, I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. We'll see how well this goes, how long. How well it goes in the regular combat mode here. I think one of the problems with the basic attack is like I don't know that it really like auto targets the enemy, so it's a little awkward maybe. So I might end up switching that back to the just like continuous auto attack, but we'll see. But I do think the numpad will hopefully work decently for us here though. So that way I can move around better without having to take my hands off walls to hit the abilities and stuff, so it might work out better for me personally. But we'll see. We will certainly see. Anyway, like...
They're falling from the breach!
Oh, wait, which way are we going? This way? Oh, okay, we're going... Oh yeah, this way, I guess. Oop! My bad! My bad. Okay. That... Sneak up... And... Come on. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that definitely feels much better than when I was trying to mess around with the tactical camera before. Okay. Ooh. Oop. Alright. Oh, I'm still getting the hang of it. So let's see. Oop, I actually did not mean to target you. Actually, yeah, how do I cycle through targets again? I might need to do that then if I'm not gonna have my hand on the mouse to select targets. How do you cycle through targets? I don't think we've seen that yet. Tab. Okay, I might need to do that. And actually... Like, yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm trying to. it's because the basic attack is not hidden or what? Sometimes I feel like it's not connecting. Yeah, it still feels a little awkward getting, like, flanking the enemy, but I think with more abilities and stuff that'll help, and especially with some passives to help lower my threat, so I can go behind a little bit easier, so we'll see. We'll figure it out. Slowly but surely, I suppose. Though I do dislike that we've already used so many health potions, but I guess it can't really be helped right now.
You can hear the fighting.
Who's fighting?
You'll see soon. We must help them.
So listen, Varric. We are coming to help. Okay, let me... Okay, and then let me choose my target. I'll have to get used to that a little bit more. And get behind and strike. Yes, okay. Also, when am I going to be able to change her tactics, I wonder? I don't think I can do it yet, so I'll have to wait. But once I can change, I'm going to have her, like, always target the same enemy as me, probably, so she can draw the aggro of whatever I'm going after. Seems like a good idea. Come on, get back here. There we go. Alright, starting to get the hang of it.
Before more come through!
Hey, Solus.
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
So I can help.
At least this is good for something.
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass-deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
You're with the Chantry?
Are you with the Chantry, or...?
Was that a serious question?
Technically, I'm a prisoner, just like you.
I brought you here to tell your story to the Divine. Clearly, that is no longer necessary.
Yet, here I am. Lucky for you, considering current events.
Well, nice crossbow.
That's a nice crossbow you have there.
Ah, isn't she? Bianca and I have been through a lot together.
You named your crossbow Bianca?
Of course. And she'll be great company in the valley.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
Ugh.
Sorry if the audio cut out a bit there. I was
introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
trying to fix something on my phone
He
real quick, and I think
means
it messed
kept
with my
that mark
headphones
from
for a
killing
second.
you while you slept.
I don't know if it'll cut out for you or just for me. But sorry about that either way. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I was gonna say Mintriel definitely would be interested in Varric's crossbow, because it's a fine piece of craftsmanship, obviously. But anyways, get that mark and clean you while you slept. You know about the mark?
You seem to know a great deal about it all.
Solus is an apostate, well-versed in such matters.
Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed, regardless of origin.
Yep, and yet, then later you're gonna open up an even worse breach, essentially. Solus, make up your mind, buddy. Make up your mind. Anyways. This origin. Oh, that's commendable.
That's a commendable attitude.
Merely a sensible one. Although sense appears to be in short supply right now. Cassandra, you should know. The magic involved here is unlike any I have seen. Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
Well, Bianca's excited.
Yep, and Mintriel is eager to do what she
This
can,
way,
so let us
down the
go.
bank. The road ahead is blocked.
We must move quickly.
Yep, just let me loot a loot first. In typical RPG fashion. One man's death is another woman's treasure. More or less. Boom boom. Yes, I got it, game. I got it. Here we go. Okay, can I change their tactics yet, or is that not a thing just yet? I don't think I can do it yet. I'll probably have to wait a little while before I can get a chance to do that, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll just wait for the game to introduce it to us, I suppose.
Demons ahead.
Glad you
Alright, let me...
on me now, Seeker.
Oh, I'm not in combat yet, I guess, so... Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I know all about tactical camera, but... this time I don't know I want to use it much, so... Can I control all when I'm in here? Nope. I guess I might not be able to set everyone on a certain target. That's kind of annoying. In the past games you could like very easily target everyone on the same thing, but this one seems like maybe not the case. Okay, well, Sandra, why don't you target that? Yeah, everyone else on the Greater Shade, maybe, and then I will stealth. Oh, come on! Use... Go... What the heck? Oh! Shoot, I'm using the wrong two. I'm using the other one. Gotta use the numpad, that's right. That's how I set it up. Okay, and then I want to take on you and take you out. There we go. And now I will go for you. I guess Sandra must be set right now to attack whichever one I'm attacking. Which I guess works okay for now. That's pretty much what I'm gonna want her to do anyway. Let me see if I can get you. Come on. Oh, I keep using the wrong abilities. No, I keep forgetting that I put it to the numpad. Which will be, you know, which will be very useful later when we have a lot more abilities, but right now it just doesn't seem as significant, obviously. Alright. There we go. Alright. Starting to figure it out, everyone. A little bit at least. Elf fruit. We'll definitely be needing that to make all kinds of health potions. What else am I finding? Stuff in this building, maybe? The one bad thing about the wider radius is makes it sometimes hard to tell what you're actually pinging. But we'll figure it out. Just something to sell, I suppose. A little bit of elf fruit. Okay, and then we're good. Nice, okay. Onward. Which way are we headed? Up the stairs, I think, so we want to loot over here first, I suppose. And then let me just go ahead and save. If you watch me play any of these kind of games, you'll know that I'm a bit of a compulsive saver. I do not like to lose progress. Though this game does have, like, potentially somewhat decent auto-saving, maybe, compared to previous ones, so I don't know, but I don't always trust the auto-save anyway, though.
So, are you innocent?
I don't remember what happened.
That'll get you every time. Should have spun a story.
That's what you would have done.
It's more believable and less prone to result in premature execution.
Very true. The Mintriel was a fairly honest gal. Not prone to the lying, even though she is a rogue, but, you know, she hasn't really lived a life on the streets, learning all the dirty tricks or anything, just been a hunter, an honest, kind hunter. Anyways, okay, let me go ahead and... come on! Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button, man. I don't know how, like, I just started. How have I already learned, like, the wrong way of doing things when I just decided how to do things just now, like... I guess just from the last time I played, even though it's been a bit, just already kind of got myself in a wrong state of things. Anyways, let me pick my target. Oops, fortunately we did not get the back like I'd hoped. Ooh, I might need to drink something. Oh, I need to rebind the potions actually to something a little bit easier to get to. But we'll deal with that later. Obviously. You. Of course you put barrier up. Alright, is that the last one? I think so.
I hope Liliana made it through all this.
She's resourceful, Seeker.
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
Yep. Okay, let me rebind real quick again. One thing, ability slots. Just for the future, and then... You know, we can go ahead and put quick heal on num 9 then. I think that'll be good. Alright. Yes.
must seal it! Quickly!
They keep coming! Help us!
Let me go into... Now, how do I do this without using the mouse? Is there a button for Disrupt Rift? I wonder if there is a button. Or do I have to use the... It'll be kind of annoying if I have to use the mouse for that. I might have to, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I might have to do that. Okay. Come on. Aren't you doing it? Here we go. Oh, there he is.
Hurry! Use the mark!
Alright. I will do it.
The rift is...
Sorry. Sorry to cut you off there, Cassandra. Let's see. What do I want to get? So I'm pretty sure last time I got a passive... Not from this one, I guess. There was like a passive that reduced my threat level. That's probably what I'm mostly gonna want here. Yeah, reduce my threat reduction. That's probably worth it for now as a starting item.
One, open the gate.
Right away, Lady Cassandra.
We are clear for the moment.
Wait,
Well
where's...
done.
What am I
Whatever
sensing?
that thing on your hand is, it's useful.
You have already caused enough trouble without resorting to this exercise in futility.
I have caused trouble.
You, Cassandra, the Most Holy? Haven't you all done enough already?
You are not in command here.
Enough! I will not have it!
You will have it, though, sir. You
Here
will.
they come.
You made it. Chancellor Roderick, this is...
I know who she is. As Grand Chancellor of the Chantry, I hereby order you to take this criminal to Val Royeaux to face execution.
Order me? You are a glorified clerk, a bureaucrat.
And you are a thug, but a thug who supposedly serves the Chantry.
We serve the Most Holy, Chancellor. As you well know.
Justinia is dead! We must elect a replacement and obey her orders on the matter.
What about the breach?
Isn't closing the breach the more pressing issue?
You brought this on us in the first place!
Incorrect, sir.
Call a retreat, Seeker. Our position here is hopeless.
We can stop this before it's too late.
How? You won't survive long enough to reach the temple, even with all your soldiers.
We must get to the temple. It's the quickest route.
But not the safest. Our forces can charge as a distraction while we go through the mountains.
We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky.
Listen to me. Abandon this now, before more lives are lost.
How do you think we should proceed?
not gonna question you asking for her opinion. But let's see. I'm pretty sure last time I took the mountain path, right? Soldiers will act destruction elsewhere. The problem may be addressed sooner, but there may be casualties. Yeah, because this way we figure out what happened to the scouts, which Mintriel's obviously all about, and, you know, about the greater good. There may be casualties, but soldier, you know, we gotta take the fastest route to solve the problem. No matter of the cost, honestly. So take the mountain path.
Use the mountain path. Work together. You all know what's at stake.
Liliana, bring everyone left in the valley. Everyone.
On your head be the consequences, Seeker.
Yep. Consequences, both good and bad, Mr. Bureaucrat. Alright, let's go do this. Alright, time to climb. Climb some
The
more.
tunnel should be just ahead. The path to the temple lies just beyond it.
What manner of tunnel is this? A mine?
Part of an old mining complex. These mountains are full of such paths.
And your missing soldiers are in there somewhere?
Along with whatever has detained them.
We shall see soon enough.
Yep, we're gonna find out. We'll speed ahead. Okay. Nope. I get to jump on you. Oh no. Fortunately, I didn't flank properly there. My bad. Ooh, everyone else is still climbing up too, so that's not great. Let me retreat a little bit. Yeah. And now we take care of you.
Dead.
Which, you know what? Have I gotten anything I need to equip? Might want to check on that here in a second. What am I finding? Something I can't see yet, it seems. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I did get a dagger, right? That is slightly better, maybe, than what I have, so might as well, I suppose. Alright. Onward and upward. Oh, I'm just seeing the ladder. Okay. Time to light a torch for no apparent reason. Well, I guess to help us loot. Oop, another stiletto. I will take that. Double stiletto time, and there we go. And gold, always good to have. Alright. Onward to the next fight. go. Nice. Alrighty, what am I picking up? Loot. Elf fruit.
Guess we found the soldiers.
That cannot be all of them.
So the others could be holed up ahead.
Our priority must be the breach. Unless we seal it soon, no one is safe.
I'm leaving that to our elven friend here.
Of course we are going to save them, because it doesn't take us too much from our path. We'll save what lives we can when we can avoid letting go of our main mission for it. Something up here to get. It's good to get a stock up on resources. Less having to roam around and find them later. Disruption.
Cassandra! Lieutenant, you're alive!
Just barely.
Okay, there we go. Eric, what are you doing? Here, take a potion. It'll be alright. Alright, so let's close it up.
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Yep, let us hope.
Thank the Maker you finally arrived, Lady Cassandra. I don't think we could have held out much longer.
Thank our prisoner, Lieutenant. She insisted we come this way.
The prisoner? Then you...
It was worth the risk.
It was worth saving you, if we could.
Then you have my sincere gratitude.
The way into the valley behind us is clear for the moment. Go, while you still can.
At once. Quickly, let's move!
The path ahead appears to be clear of demons as well.
Let's hurry before that changes.
Let's hurry it up.
Down the ladder. That's the
loot.
way to the temple.
And let me just save real quick. And onward we go.
So, holes in the Fade don't just accidentally happen, right?
If enough magic is brought to bear, it is possible.
But there are easier ways to make things explode.
That is true.
We will consider how this happened once the immediate danger is past.
Of course. Into some funky territory.
the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
What's left of it.
That is where you walked out of the Fade, and our soldiers found you. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was.
Alright, well... Hey dude. Since you didn't get burned, I'm gonna loot you. Hope you don't mind. And if you do... Oh well. I need your stuff. For the greater good.
Is a long way up.
You're here. Thank the Maker.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. This is your chance to end this. Are you ready?
I'll try.
I'll try, but I don't know if I can reach that, much less close it.
No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. Seal it, and perhaps we seal the breach.
Then let's find a way down. And be careful.
Alright, will
Now is
do.
the hour of our victory.
Oh,
Bring forth the
Crypheus.
sacrifice.
What are we hearing?
At a guess, the person who created the breach.
At a guess, yeah, Solus, at a guess. Sure, sure. You're lucky Mintriel doesn't know the truth about you. And she won't until she's already had a chance to fall for you.
You know this stuff is Red Lyrium, Seeker.
I see it, Varric.
But what's it doing here?
Magic could have drawn on lyrium beneath the temple, corrupted it.
It's evil. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Keep the
Yeah, but you still have a
sacrifice.
piece of it, don't you, Varric? I'm pretty sure Kyrix left you a piece. Will you keep it?
That is
Guess we'll see how that plays into
Justinian's
things,
voice.
if at all. I don't remember. Alright. Let's get this over with.
What's going on here?
That was your voice. Most Holy called out to you, but...
What's going on here?
Run when you can! Want them!
We have an intruder. Slay the elf.
You were there! Who attacked? And the Divine, is she... Was this vision true? What are we seeing?
I don't remember.
Echoes of what happened here. The Fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side.
That means demons! Stand ready!
Alright, Pride Demon, fighting time.
Now!
Time to get a little more more serious in the combat here. Yeah. In which case, let me go ahead and have Varric. Can you please not be too close? Preferably. Get your ass over there. And I will go ahead and stealth. Am I supposed to do something with the rift right now?
Defenses. Wear it down.
There we go. That's right. Okay. Now I can go.
Now.
Okay, I can't do that yet, so... Okay, where, Varric? You're too close, aren't you? Move a little further back, please. Oh, that's right, I got it. Attack mode, and then do that. Okay, kind of annoying, but we'll get used to it. Okay, and then I need to do this again. Okay,
Coming through the rift.
let's get rid of the little demons. We can, come on. Oh, jeez. Where are you guys? You guys okay? Solus, Varric. Varric, you're a little close for comfort there, but hopefully you'll be alright. Ooh, jeez.
Someone help!
Ooh, come on. There we go. Okay. Solus got me. I was trying to use a potion, but then it wouldn't let me. I think I gotta do this again. Okay, let me stealth, and then I can do this. Okay, stay behind. If I... Guys, get out of the way. Okay, Varric. Varric, where the hell are you? Why are you so close? You are a ranged person. Get out of the freaking way, please. Gotta have to do this again. Just a second. There we go. You guys are using up all my potions, man. Come on. Okay. Let me get out from the danger zone. Oh, jeez. Sandra, drink something, please. Move, move. shit. Okay, can I do this again? Yes. There we go. Let's do it! Almost there. Shit. Run. Almost there.
Now, seal the rift.
Okay. I'll do it. Hello? There we go.
Do it!
I'm doing it, Cassandra. Here we go. Brace yourselves. Alright, first big demon defeated. Many more yet to tackle.
Oh! I didn't know you were awake, I swear.
Where am I?
Is this another prison?
No? I mean, I don't think so.
Then where am I? Tell me.
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You are back in Haven, my lady. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
Then we're safe.
Then the danger is over.
The breach is still in the sky, but that's what they say. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened. She said, at once.
And where is she?
In the Chantry, with the Lord Chancellor. At once, she said.
Alright. And suddenly I'm instantly in my other clothes. Okay. But I'll take that elf fruit you were bringing to me. And special shipments. And what's this? Patron of reservations. Vain hope. Someone better at this than me takes over before the survivor expires. Notes in case. Day 1. Clammy. Shallow breathing. Pulse over fast. Not responsive. Pupils dilated. Mage says her scarring mark is thrumming with unknown magic. Wish we could station a Templar in here, just in case. Alright then. And I'm seeing stuff outside. Okay, let's save real quick. And venture out into Haven. And now I'm cut back up to where I ended up stopping last time. And without such a clown face this time, which makes me very happy. Alright, let's see. Elf fruit out back. Don't mind me, just taking all your shit for the greater good. Which is necessary, trust me.
That's her. That's the Herald of Andraste.
Oh, hold on before you stare at me in awe. Just need to keep taking the rest of your shit. I am a scavenger after all. I'm used to rooting around in the woods and hunting things for my clan. This is just the way of the Dalish, don't you mind me.
Why did Lady Cassandra have her in chains? I thought Seekers knew everything.
No one knows everything, dude.
Make her be with you.
Mintriel would like to know everything, and she will try to find out as much as she can. But even she will never know everything. Indeed. Hey peeps.
Blessings upon you, herald of
Oh, can you let me through, please? Okay, let me stop looting for a second and appreciate the gravity of the situation. Well, in a moment. In a moment.
She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
I heard she was supposed to close it entirely.
Yeah, well, we'll come to that here. One step at a time.
Still a lot of rifts left all over. Little cracks in the sky.
She can feel those, though. The Herald of Andraste.
Let's see. Oh, day 3. Less thrashing. Some response to stimulus. Vitals seem solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the chantry to kill my patient. All this work to save her life, and will they just execute her? Well, inform Lady Cassandra I expect her to wake before the morn. Alrighty.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
Yep, that's what I'm here for. At this point, after all. Hey guys.
Safely, Herald of Andraste.
Alright. My name's Mintriel, but alright.
May God be with you.
The Singing Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, was a man of great pride who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket, as high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedwyr's Maiden was a prized possession, and stood in a place of honor in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offenses. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and its people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day, a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedwyr's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedwyr swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedwyr regretted her comment and replied, "The sparks are sharp enough. Look at the blood that still clings to them." "But it is so small," said Ember. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedwyr grew redder still and replied, "Of course not. The Maiden has devoured many men." Ember shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the Maiden to Ember. "I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said, and with that he stepped into the device. But Ember was waiting, and no sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket than Ember slammed it shut on him. Ember took the Maiden with the screaming Bedwyr inside through the castle and down into the city, and the people, finally free from the king's tyranny, cheered and danced to the singing that echoed through the streets, until Bedwyr was dead and it finally stopped. A tale often sold in the Singing Maiden Tavern. Oh, it's a lovely, lovely little story, eh? I wonder if anyone would actually be that stupid. I guess probably so. Hey, why can't I get to this? I guess I just can't go into here quite yet. It would seem. Oh yeah, I guess I just can't go into the tavern quite yet.
Blessings upon you, herald of Andraste.
Alright, well I'll have to come back later when I'm able to go in. There's some more loot for me. What was that? Oh, who are you? Ren.
Not taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra.
Alright then.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
That NPC saying that reminds me of the Dragon Age 2. Like, maybe have, like, flashbacks to, good luck getting in, I've been waiting all day. God, how many times did I hear that going through the one place in Dragon Age 2? The name escapes me right now, but yeah, the place where the Viscount was. Ugh. Good luck getting in, I've been waiting all day. Good luck sealing the rifts. They've been there all day. Alright, let's go on.
Says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
Yeah, but he's gonna be spreading his propaganda like a proper little snake. Little ferrety snake he is. Oh, hold on, Cassandra. There's a chest over here. Oop, and a sack, and yeah. Sorry, I am a little loot goblin. Let's see. Day 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive, careful drop feed of prep. A prepared elf root extract to hasten her recovery, a lot of thrashing, wonders about too many eyes, something about the gray, encouraging. Maybe. Hey.
I believe Lady Cassandra wanted to speak with you.
Alrighty then. Really should probably just go see her and then go around and explore, but like I said, the loot goblin in me will not let it wait. Ugh. Are we going here already? Let's see. The Randy Dowager Quarterly. A well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue, the Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another, the collected dreams of desire, being the confessions of an apprentice in training more furrowing than harrowing. Forbidden dalliances at their most spirited. The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought but spry of step. The lady herself says, enchanting. One supports the circles, if only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scars fluttered in shock out of 5. RD. Alright then. Alrighty then. Okay, Cassandra, I'm coming. I am coming.
Most of the Grand Clerics died at the conclave. Who will lead us now?
Andraste didn't have Grand Clerics telling her what to do, and she managed nonetheless.
You expect us to be like Andraste?
Someone must.
Well, you're expecting me to be like Andraste, and I will try my best to lead you into better dawn. Anyways, chant for the departed. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. As the moss sees light and goes toward flame, she should see fire and go towards light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. Often some bad mourners as they light candles. Right, you then? The Fade. Yeah, we know all about the Fade already. Yeah, we kind of know all the Fade already. I'm not necessarily going to read every little thing, especially because a lot of it's probably going to be repeats of entries from the previous 2 games. But we will see what seems important to look at.
Have you got completely mad? She should be taken to Val Royo immediately, to be tried by whomever becomes Devasa.
I do not believe she is guilty.
The elf failed, Seeker. The breach is still in the sky. For all you know, she intended it this way.
Let's see, Children of Andraste. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, Monsieur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable, considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture or claim some aspect of her existence was a lie, all of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the Betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Isarath, Evrion, and Verald. The rule of what was once southern Tevinter was split among them. Isarath was given the west, what is today Orlais. Evrion was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Verald was given the central Planacene, what is today Novara. What became of these men and their legacies is the stuff of legend, and the majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the Betrayer's concubine, Gillivan. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamari tribesmen and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the Betrayer took Gillivan to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised into Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the Betrayer, Eberus and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Eberus had but 1 child, Aliv Mamar, who perished on a voyage to Denram, less than a month after her mother fell to plague and without children of her own. The younger daughter, Vivial, was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with a mage of Tevinter, Regulon. Vivial and Regulon went into self-imposed exile as the Exalted March began, and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason. She had only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus the claims of your young man, Monsieur, are highly suspect. Interesting. Turned in research.
That is not for you to decide. Your duty is to serve the Chantry.
My duty is to serve the principles on which the Chantry was founded, Chancellor, as is yours.
Let's see, what's this? The Maker. There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, In my image I forge you, to you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. And in the center of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne, and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with a golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done. Yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing. And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, Here I decree, opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you... From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Yeah, and we know how that went. Very, very poorly. But alright. Alright, Cassandra, I'll keep you waiting no longer. Let's get this over with.
Chain her! I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that, and leave us.
Shows you who's really
you
in
walk
charge.
A dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
I did what I could.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence?
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Well, obviously Mintriel doesn't believe in the Maker, but like I mentioned, she is fairly open-minded and not super set on her religious ways, but at the same time she does hold some basic belief in them, at the very least. But she does respect others' beliefs at the same time, as long as they respect hers. But anyways, let's see. Are you sure? I am not a chosen one. What more do you want? Are you serious? You believe I'm innocent? Let's see. I mean, at this point, I don't think she'd be like, I'm not a chosen one, because, I mean, by all accounts, it seems like something's going on with her, so she's not going to dismiss that possibility. Not ask what more do you want, because obviously she wants to seal the breach, so yeah, not going to ask, are you serious? It's pretty obvious, yes, she understands, so I think the only option here that makes sense for Mintriel would be like, are you sure?
You really think your Maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Dalish elf is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers, and now no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
Right, the Inquisition of old? Yeah, I mean, Mintriel wouldn't really know too much about this, only whatever she's happened to read about the ways of humans, right? But she wouldn't know a whole lot, probably.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
What about the Chantry?
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine, and then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You want a holy war?
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
And not even gonna ask, and if I refuse, because Mintriel already knows she's not gonna refuse, you know, she's gonna do whatever she can to help deal with this problem and save everyone from the breach. So yeah. And I don't know that she's really, you know, it is kind of strange, but at the same time, like I said, she's very open-minded, very open to things, so I think she'd say, I want to help.
If you're truly trying to restore order...
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
So it truly begins! The Dragon Age Inquisition! Let's go. Alright, lots to do. But, you know, I think this is going to be a good spot to go ahead and pause for now. So, yeah, when I get back, we will jump into exploring around Haven further and not just looting, but actually talking to people and stuff, presumably, and proceed forward with the story. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.